Hi everyone, how are you all? So Faraday's laws, second part we are here. So that is Faraday's second law. In the before this video, so we had seen the Faraday's first law. That video I will mention in the description. Those who not watched, please do watch that Faraday's first law. So then we are going to see the Faraday's second law in this video. Till now, those who not subscribed, please do subscribe for more videos. Now you see here Faraday's second law. What is Faraday's second law here? Faraday proposed to give the what quantitative relation between the amount of electrolyte deposited at the electrode and the quantity of electric charge which we are passing through the electrolytic solution. Is it or not? So that quantitative relation was given by the what in second law also. Now in the first law we had taken only one electrolytic solution. In second law what happens, we are taking different electrolytic solution. Either it may be 2 or more than 2. So these are the different electrolytic solutions which are connected in series. Connection. When we are passing the same quantity of electric charge through these different electrolytic solutions, when they are connected in series, then what happens? The quantity of electrolyte deposited at the respective electrode is in the ratio of their equivalent weight. That is the most important Faraday's second law. Now you see here what happens when the same quantity of electric charge is passed through the different electrolytic solutions which are connected in a series, then amount of electrolyte deposited at the respective electrode is in the ratio of their equivalent weight. Is that clear? Now here it is a anode. This is what a cathode. Now it is what here it is connected to the cathode. It is anode. Here also it is what anode. It is cathode. Okay, na? So at the cathode what happens? Here we are getting the hydrogen gas. Here we are getting the what copper metal. Here we are getting the silver metal. Okay, na? So now you see here weight of hydrogen is to weight of copper is to weight of silver is in the ratio of their what equivalent weight of hydrogen is to equivalent weight of copper is to equivalent weight of silver. How to calculate equivalent weight of molecular hydrogen? Its molecular weight by its valency. 1 hydrogen means plus 1, 2 hydrogen means plus 2. So that is 2 hydrogen plus 1, that is plus 2. Molecular weight will be 2 by 2 is equal to copper atomic weight is 63.5 by valency will be 2. Silver atomic weight is 108 by 1. So then 1 is to here 31.75 is to 108. That is the weight of hydrogen and weight of copper and the weight of silver will be is in the ratio of these values when we are passing same quantity of electric charge. Is that clear? So what we can conclude here, W1 by W2 is equal to E1 by E2. That is, the weights are in the ratio of their equivalent weight. W1 is to W2 is equal to E1 is to E2. So from this what we can say here, weight is directly related with equivalent weight. We know that weight is equal to Z into Q, but here Q is same. So then what happens? W1 is equal to Z1 into Q. So W2 is equal to Z2 into Q. Okay. So you substitute these values. So then what happens here? In place of W I am substituting Z1 into Q by Z2 into Q is equal to E1 by E2. So Q get cancelled. So Z1 by Z2 is equal to E1 by E2. So from this what you can say, equivalent weight is directly proportional to chemical equivalent. So then from this what happens? E is equal to Z into F. So from this Z is equal to what? To E by F. This we had seen in first law. So how we got? This is the explanation for that. And after that, here we'll see the what? The charge of one electron. We know that what a charge of one electron will be how much? Charge of one electron is how much? It is equal to minus 1.602 into 10 power minus 19. That minus I am omitting. That is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. One charge of one electron. It is what? Charge of Avogadro number of electron. Charge of 6.023 into 10 power 23 electrons charge. That is nothing but 1 mole of electron. 1 mole of electron charge is how much? Do the cross multiplication, that is 6.023 into 10 power 23 into 1.602 into 10 power minus 90. If you do this one, you will get approximately 96,500 coulomb. By round figuring, we are getting this one. You will get approximately, it is value will be 96488 something you will get. That round figurely we are taking as 96,500 coulomb. Is that clear? So here what we can conclude here, 1 mole of electron charge. 1 mole of electron is equal to 96,500 coulomb, which is nothing but 1 Faraday. So this is the relation is very important. Similarly, now we know that water, we know that is 96,500 coulombs is nothing but what? It is a charge of Avogadro number of electrons. 6.023 into 10 power 23 electrons charge is what? This 96,500 coulomb. In 1 coulomb of charge, in 1 coulomb, how many electrons are there? In 1 coulomb, how many electrons are there? How you are going to get 6.023 into 10 power 23 by 1 by 96,500 coulombs. If you do this calculation, you will get 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. That is what here in 1 coulomb these many electrons are there. These many electron charges will give you what? 1 coulomb. Is that clear? Next, I will give you one data, list of data. Based on that list of data, we will have so many number of problems. Okay, 1 Faraday. Just now we had seen 1 Faraday is nothing but 1 mole of electron charge. 1 Faraday is nothing but 96,500 coulombs. This 96,500 coulomb contain how many electrons? 1 mole of electron. That is nothing but Avogadro number of electrons 6.023 into 10 power 23 electrons. It will be. So 1 GeN of electrolyte, 1 Faraday is nothing but what? It is equal to 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte. Now 1 mole of sodium metal, when you are passing 1 Faraday of electricity, you can see here Na plus 1 electron gives rise to what? Sodium. Now by gaining how many electron it is giving the what? Sodium metal? 1 mole of electron. The 1 mole of electron charge is how much? 1 Faraday, which is nothing but 96,500 coulomb, which is nothing but 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte. Now you see here, what is the atomic weight of sodium here? 23 grams. What is the equivalent weight of sodium? 23. So the number of gram equivalent weight, number of GeN is equal to atomic weight by equivalent weight. It is what? I will get atomic weight by equivalent weight. Okay na? So then what happened? 23 by 23 is nothing but 1 GeN of electrolyte. So similarly 1 mole of sodium weight is how much? 23 grams. 1 mole of potassium weight is how much? 39 grams. When by passing 1 Faraday, 1 Faraday is nothing but 1 mole of electron it will absorb, it will gain. So then we are getting the what? 1 mole of potassium, that is nothing but, it is not represented as mole, we have to say gram atom. So we have to say gram atom for this. Okay na? For atoms we have to say gram atom, for ions gram ion. In molecule we have to say what? Mole. Okay na? So just to easy to identify that, just I mentioned the mole. Okay na? So now 1 mole of potassium, half mole of magnesium. You can take here magnesium. Here Mg plus 2 electron gives rise to Mg. So in this case, by gaining 2 mole of electron, we are getting how much weight of magnesium here? 24 grams of magnesium. That is nothing but 1 mole. 1 mole of magnesium we are getting. 1 mole of magnesium weight is how much? 24 grams. Then 1 mole of electron, 2 moles of electron will give 24 gram. 1 mole of electron will give how much weight? 12 grams. Now you see here, 1 mole of electron is nothing but 1 Faraday, which is equal to what? 12 grams of magnesium. Okay na? Which is nothing but half mole of magnesium. 2 moles of electron will gives 1 mole. 1 mole of electron will gives you half mole of magnesium metal. Okay na? So that is what 1 mole of electron charge is how much? 12 grams. Now you see here the equivalent gram equivalent number GeN for this equation. For this equation you see. Now what is the atomic weight of magnesium here? 24. Atomic weight is 24. Equivalent weight is 12. So what happens? 2 gram equivalent number we are getting. For 2 moles, for 2 mole of electron, 2 gram equivalent. Okay na? So then 1 mole of electron it will be how much? 1 mole of electron it will be 1 gram equivalent. Is that clear? 1 mole of electron is nothing but 1 GeN of electrolyte. Is that clear? Are you able to understand? So that is the main concept here. So based on this data we can do the more number of problems here. So half mole of calcium which is nothing but 20 grams. 1 by 3 mole of aluminium. 1 mole of aluminium is weight is how much? 27. 1 by 3 mole means 9 grams. So half mole of copper. Copper atomic weight is how much? Atomic weight of copper is 63.50. Okay na? So its equivalent weight will be what happened? 31.75 grams. Now half mole of zinc 62.75. Its atomic weight of zinc is that is 65.5. Okay. So half mole of hydrogen which is nothing but what? 1 gram of hydrogen. 1 mole of hydrogen weight is 2 grams. So it is half mole, that is 1 gram of hydrogen. That is half mole. 1 mole will occupy at STP condition irrespective of the nature of the gas. At constant temperature and pressure, the gases occupy how much volume? 22.4 liter. So just you do remember that one. So it is half mole they given. 1 mole 22.4, half mole it is 11.2 liter of hydrogen at STP. Now we are getting half mole of chlorine. So I will write here H plus ion once again. By gaining 1 mole of electron we are getting half mole of hydrogen gas. Is it or not? It is what? 1 mole of electron. So 1 mole of electron will give the what? Half mole of hydrogen. Now you see 1 mole of electron by gaining we are getting half mole of hydrogen. Similarly chloride ion also by loss of 1 mole of electron, that is oxidation, we are getting half mole of chlorine. So similarly oxygen also, now you see here OH minus ion will gives you 1 by 4 mole of oxygen, 1 by 2 mole of water plus 1 electron. So by loss of 1 mole of electron we are getting 1 by 4 mole of oxygen. So that is nothing but 1 mole of oxygen weight is 32, 1 by 4 mole will be 8 grams, which is nothing but 1 mole of oxygen gas occupy 22.4 liter, 1 by 4 mole will occupy how much? 5.6 liter at STP. This is very important relation data. If you know this one, you can do the what? Hundreds of questions. So each and every term is equal. Now you see here 12 grams of magnesium is equal to 9 grams of aluminium when you are passing same quantity of electric charge. Is that clear? 1 Faraday if you are passing 12 grams of magnesium is equal to 9 grams of aluminium. If they are asking to get the 24 grams of magnesium, then how many grams of aluminium will be formed? 2 times the 9, that is 18 grams. So that like that you should give each and every relation. Is that clear? Now we will do the what problems based on this concept. Now you see here I had written there 2 more questions. Now we will see those 2 questions. Yeah. So here what they are saying, if a current of 1 ampere flows through a metal wire for 1 hour, how many electrons would flow through that wire? So they are asking to calculate number of electrons. What they given? Current 1 ampere. Current is 1 ampere. Time is how much? 1 hour they given. 1 hour. Convert into seconds. 1 into 60 minutes. So into 60 seconds. Now it is what? 3600. Now calculate Q, that is current into time, that is nothing but 1 into 3600. So it is what? Coulombs we got. What we know? 1 Faraday. 1 Faraday is nothing but 96,500 Coulomb. Is nothing but what? Avogadro number of electron. 1 mole of electron, 6.023 into 10 power 23 electrons. Then what they are getting? 3600 of Coulomb how many electrons it will be? That is 6.023 into 10 power 23 into 3600 by 96500. You do the calculation, you will get the number of electrons. Is that clear? So easy manner, if you know the water charge, you can give the relation there. 1 Faraday 96,500, it is equal to 1 mole of electron, that is nothing but Avogadro number of electron. So you have this charge. So for that, how many electron it will be? By doing cross multiplication, you will get the answer. Next. So question number 2 you see once. Question number 2. Now what they are saying, what is the ratio of gram atoms they are asking, as well as weights of metal liberated during the electrolysis of fused NaF, sodium fluoride and magnesium fluoride and aluminium fluoride. So when they are doing the fused electrolysis, we are getting the water here Na plus ions, Mg plus 2 ions and Al plus 3 ions. These are reduced to sodium metal, magnesium metal and aluminium metal by gain of 3 electrons here, by gain of 2 electrons, by gain of 1 electron. So I have fused through, connected in series they are saying. When they are connected in series, then what happens? Weight of sodium metal is to weight of magnesium metal, weight of aluminium is in the ratio of their equivalent weight according to Faraday's second law. That is, equivalent weight of sodium is to equivalent weight of magnesium is to equivalent weight of aluminium. Now what is the equivalent weight of sodium? 23. Atomic weight by 1, that is 23. So magnesium 24 by 2 because 2 mole of electron, that is 12. So aluminium is what? 27 by 3, that is 9. Okay na? So that is the weight ratio. I had given you weight ratio. It is for what? B. What about A here? They are asking that what? Gram atoms. How many moles it is formed? Now you see here, by passing 1 mole of electron, we are getting 1 mole of sodium. By passing Faraday, 1 mole of electron. So we are getting the what? 1 mole of sodium. Here what? Magnesium will form the what? Half mole of magnesium. If you know that data, all you can write. It is what? 1 by 3 mole of aluminium when you are passing same quantity of electric charge they said. Okay na? Connected in series. Then what happens? Moles ratio, number of moles of Na, that is gram atoms of magnesium is to number of gram atoms of aluminium will be what happens? 1 is to 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3. That is what? 6 is to 3 is to 2. Okay na? So that is the ratio of gram atoms. Is that clear? Faraday's second law, based on that Faraday first law and Faraday second law, these problems are there. These are very important, repeatedly asked questions in previous years. So during electrolysis of acidified water, 336 ml of mixture of hydrogen and oxygen gas is obtained at electrodes. Calculate quantity of electric charge and number of Faradays consumed. What they are asking? So they are giving the what information about electrolysis of acidified water. We are getting the what hydrogen gas and oxygen gas at cathode and anode. At cathode and anode we are getting these two compounds by doing the electrolysis of acidified water. Now we know that water by passing 1 Faraday of electricity. So how much volume of hydrogen is obtained? 11.2 liter of hydrogen. By passing same 1 Faraday, we are getting 5.6 liter of oxygen. So then what is the relation of volume of hydrogen and volume of oxygen here? Now you see volume of hydrogen is how much? 11.2. Volume of oxygen is 5.6. How many times we are same quantity of electricity? So how many times it is? 2 times the volume of oxygen. Okay. So what they given? Volume of hydrogen, mixture of gases they given. Volume of oxygen is equal to what? 336 they given. So volume of hydrogen, you substitute the water 2 times the volume of oxygen. Volume of oxygen is equal to 336. So 3 volume of oxygen is equal to 336. So volume of oxygen will be 112 ml. 112 ml. So then volume of hydrogen will be what happens? Volume of hydrogen will be, that is 224 ml. Okay na? So now we got the what volume of oxygen we got and volume of hydrogen we got. Okay, so they are asking to calculate what? The number of Faradays and electric charge. We know that what? We know that 1 Faraday, by passing 1 Faraday, that is nothing but 96,500 coulomb. We are getting how much volume of oxygen? 5.6 liter of oxygen, which is nothing but 5,600 ml. Is it or not? But we have only 112 ml only. 112 ml will give how much charge? 96,500 coulombs gives the 5,600 ml of oxygen. So 112 ml will give how much charge it is? 112 into 96500 by 5600. 0000 get cancelled. So you do this calculation, you will get the what? Coulombs of charge. Okay, now you will get the charge. Now what about Faradays? Number of Faradays here. So we know that 1 Faraday will give the what? 5600 ml of oxygen. Okay, so then 112 ml of oxygen. 112 ml of oxygen will have how many Faradays? That is 112 into 1 by 5600 ml. So it is how many times? 2 times. Okay na? So 56 twos. Okay na? 112 56 hundreds. That is 2 by 100. That is nothing but 0.02 Faradays. Is that clear? Have you understood this one? So how we are giving the relation between Faraday and the volume? Now, how many Faradays are required to reduce 0.5 mole of Cr2, potassium dichromate, to chromate ion? Now you see here, Cr2O7 minus 2 is changing into what? Cr plus 3. Now whenever you are doing such type of questions, you have to observe here carefully. Here 2 chromiums are there, here 1 chromium is there. So convert into 2 chromium. So here 2 chromium charge will be how much? 2x is equal to, what happens? Minus 2 plus 14, that is nothing but 2x is equal to plus 12. Here 2x is equal to, that is what here in this case the charge will be what? 2 into plus 3, that is plus 6. So now what is the change in number of electrons here? Plus 2L2 plus 6, that is 6 moles of electron it has to consume. That is 6 Faradays of electricity it has to consume to convert into water? Chromium ion, Cr plus 3. So but what they are saying, they have taken 0.5 mole. So for 1 mole of dichromate ion to chromate ion, chromium ion is what? 6 Faradays. Okay na? So how then 0.5 mole will be how many Faradays it is? 0.5 mole of dichromate to chromate will be 3 Faradays. Okay na? Is that clear? So in the same way, potassium permanganate also, whenever they given such type of question, in that manner you should solve. How many Faradays are required to reduce 1 mole of nitrobenzene to aniline, which is also very important, previously asked question. Nitrobenzene to aniline they are saying. This is nitrobenzene is changing into what? Aniline. So if benzene ring directly attached with NH2, then it is called aniline. It is aniline. It is nitrobenzene. It is nitrobenzene. Then what they are saying? How many Faradays are required to reduce 1 mole of nitrobenzene to aniline? Now simply it will not dissociate heterolytically, but just we are imagining. So carbon with respect to the electronegativity, carbon is less electronegative, nitrogen is more electronegative. Nitrogen get the minus charge, that is NO2 minus we are getting. So what is the oxidation state of this nitrogen then? X. So here what? Plus 2 into minus 2 is equal to minus 1, that is X is equal to what? Plus 3. Now in this case, whenever it is dissociated, this nitrogen is getting the what? Minus charge. Now in this case what happens? NH2 minus 1. Okay na? So then what happens? It is X is equal to X plus 2 into plus 1 is equal to minus 1. x is equal to minus 1, the plus 2 that side goes minus 1, minus 2, minus 2, minus 1, minus 3. So here a change in oxidation number is taking place in which manner? So it is in plus 3 oxidation state, it is minus 3 oxidation state. The total change in oxidation state is how much? So plus 3 to minus 3. How much it will be changes? So plus 3, plus 2, plus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So that is what here plus 3 we should not count. After plus, so that is 6 it is changing. That is by gaining 6 mole of electron. So how many Faradays are required? 6 Faraday. They are asking 1 mole of nitrobenzene. Only 1 mole. If it is half mole, 3 Faradays. Is that clear? So most important. So similarly we will see during the electrolysis of molten sodium chloride, the time required to produce 0.10 mole of chlorine gas using current of 3 amperes. What they given? Current 3 amperes. Okay. And what they given? 0.10 mole of chlorine gas they are saying. So first we should know what is the charge required. Okay na? So we know that what 96,500 coulomb, that is 1 Faraday. We are getting how many moles of chlorine we will get? Half mole. Half mole of chlorine from the data. Okay na? Half mole of chlorine. Simply you can know that. So Cl2 half mole plus 1 electron. 1 mole of electron, 1 Faraday, 96,500 half mole of chlorine. But they given the what 0.1 mole of chlorine. So what is the charge it will be? What is the charge it is? So they are asking to calculate time. Now then what happens? 0.1 into 96500 by 1 by 2. So then what happens? So this one 0 get cancelled. This 2 will go up. 2 into 9650. Okay, that is Q we got. So we know that Q is equal to C into T. So Q is 2 into 9650 is equal to. So current is how much? 3 amperes. So then time. So time will be how much? That's it only, no? During the electrolysis of molten soda. Oh, okay. So now in this case, you do this calculation, you will get the time. Time you will get in what in seconds you will get. Okay, na? You will get the water time in seconds. So you convert into minutes. So it will be in seconds you will get. So after that you convert into minutes also. So that is for this answer. Okay, na? Next, the time required to deposit 1 millimole of aluminium. For last question. So you see there what they are saying, 1 millimole of aluminium. We know that what relation, what they are saying to calculate time. What they given? Current they given. So how much current? 9.65 amperes. Of aluminium they are saying. Aluminium plus 3 electron gives rise to aluminium. That is 1 mole of electron it will be. 1 mole of electron we are getting 1 by 3 mole of aluminium. 1 mole of electron is nothing but 96,500 coulomb. So 96500 coulombs will read the water 1 by 3 mole of aluminium. But what they are saying millimoles, that is nothing but 10 power minus 3 moles of aluminium. They are given in the question. This is what millimoles. Millimoles will have the how much charge? That is 10 power minus 3 into 96500 by 1 by 3 by 1 by 3. That is, so 2 zeros get cancelled. So it is 96.5, 3 into 96.5. Q we got. So we know the C 9.65. We can calculate the T. So that is Q is equal to C into T. So 3 into 96.5 is equal to 9.65 into T. So it will be get cancelled in 10 times. T is equal to what? 30 seconds. Is that clear? So this is what Faraday's second law. With example also we had seen. So perfectly I had explained the what concept, related problems. These are the model questions. So in that model you will have the what some hundreds of questions. If you know that data, you can do so many number of questions. In every competitive exam you are going to get the questions from Faraday's laws. Don't forget to complete watch and you make a note of it also. Thank you. Have a nice day.